Hi there! What's up, Cli-Mates? I hope you're ready to stay tuned with us because we are back with a new knowledge to share to you guys. For today's video, we are together with new Cli-Mates. They're going to share 3 new topics about climate change. We are going to discuss issues about climate change from Philippines to Africa and to Bangladesh. So, are you ready, Cli-Mates? Let's go!
Hi everyone, my name is Nicole C. Bornilia and we are here for Address Cli-Mate. So, of course, we will start first here in our own country. Let's go to the Philippines, where Manuel Alcantara Avellanes, also known as Noli, a 73-year-old man from the Philippines. He stated after 10 years in the Philippines, heavy floods happen. He shared his experiences when he was still a child, where rice fields were at the center of Manila and full of Cli-Mate trees. During the night, there were also fireflies everywhere, but suddenly, all of these are now gone because of an expected increasing number of people, buildings, and houses. The rice fields are also gone. And the result of all this disaster was flood and pollution. That's all for the Philippines. Now let's go to the Africa. Kim, what's the news there?
This is a segment of our show whereas we're going to introduce and address some climate change issues happening worldwide. Hi there, this is Kimberly Armada reporting from Africa. The world is experiencing some of its most extreme weather patterns on record, from floods and intense rain to heat waves and greenhouse gases. From human activity like burning fossil fuel and generating electricity are contributing significantly to this hazard. Now, Africa has been responsible for less than 4% of emission, but it is by far the most vulnerable region to the effect of climate change. Among these, experts predict that most part of the continent will experience much drier conditions that are already in the case part of northern Kenya, which have not seen rain for more than a year. That's the end of news about Africa. Now, let's move on to Mark. Are you ready?
So, are you ready, Cli-Mates? If you're ready, then let's go, go, go! Yes, of course. Here I am at Bangladesh to address the issue about the climate change here. Bangladesh is among the most vulnerable countries to climate change impact. And almost every year, it suffers from major calamities which takes a big toll on the poor local people. People from different regions suffer from different types of disasters, including flood, drought, and salinity. Drinkable water becomes scarce, land becomes barren in the dry season, farmers helplessly wait for the rain. When monsoon arrives, rivers start overflowing and causes flash floods. People struggle to find shelters. Meanwhile, in the coastal districts, people face salinity problems. Excessive saline water makes it impossible to do farming and fishery. These people suffer the worst blows of nature, yet with courage as they stand with their ground.
Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye right now.
But don't worry, because we will still see you next week for new information, so stay tuned. For now, thank you and goodbye. Back to you, Zion.
Wow, that was some alarming news right there, Cli-Mates. Anyway, thanks for that, Nicole, Kim, and Mark. We got to know a lot of information thanks to you guys. Right, Cli-Mates? Now, we will move on to our next segment after a quick break. See you!
Bad breathe no more.
Splash, 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 splash.
teeth with fresh friends. SARP 169.
And now we are back with some tips on how to reduce and give solutions to these rising issues in climate change. Because it is now time for Climate Tip. Let me introduce to you the climates that will be joining us for today's video. Please welcome Rona, Nicolette, and Aubrey.
Hi guys, I'm Nicolette Ranas.
My name is Rana J. Pascotelier.
And I am Aubrey Ann M. Inoy.
Listen up, Cli-Mates, because we will give you some tips to help our nature. The evidence is irrefutable. Unless we act immediately to reduce greenhouse emissions, we will not be able to stave off the worst consequences of climate change.
The world is already 1.2 degrees Celsius warmer than pre-industrial times, and every fraction of a degree counts. Research shows that with 2 degrees Celsius global warming, we will have more intense droughts and more devastating floods, more wildfires, and more storms. As United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said at the recent UN Climate Change Conference of the Parties, our fragile planet is hanging by a thread. We are still knocking on the door of climate catastrophe. It is time to go into emergency mode, or our chance of reaching net zero will be itself zero.
Here are the 10 ways to be part of climate change solution. 1. Spread the word. Encourage your family, friends, and co-workers to reduce their carbon pollution. Join a global movement like Count Us In, which aims to inspire 1 billion people to take a practical steps and challenge their leaders to act more boldly on climate. Organizers of the platform says that if 1 billion people took action, they could reduce as much as 20% of global carbon emission. Or you could sign up to UN's #ActNow campaign on climate change and sustainability and add your voice to this critical global debate. 2. Keep up the political pressure. Lobby local politicians and businesses to support efforts to cut emission and reduce carbon pollution. Count Us In has some handy tips for how to do this. Pick up an environmental issue you care about. Decide on a specific request for change and then try to arrange a meeting with a local representative. It might seem intimidating, but your voice deserves to be heard. If humanity is to succeed in tackling climate emergency, politicians must be part of the solution. It is up to all of us to keep up with the pressure. Number 3. Transform your transport. Transport account for around a quarter of all green gas emission and across the world. Many governments are implementing policies to decarbonize travel. You can get a head start by leaving your car at home and walk or cycle whenever it's possible. If the distance are too great, choose public transport, preferably electric option. If you must drive, offer to carpool with others so fewer cars are on the road. Get ahead on the curb and buy an electric car. Reduce the number of long-haul flights you take.
Number 4. Rein in your power use. If you can, switch to a zero-carbon or renewable energy provider. Install solar panels on your roof. Be more efficient. Turn your heating down a degree or 2. Insulate your roof. You'll be warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, and save money too. Number 5. Tweak your diet. Eat more plant-based meals. your body and the planet will thank you. Today, around 60% of the world's agricultural land is used for livestock raising, and many people in other countries are consuming more animal source of foods than is healthy. Plant-rich diets can help reduce chronic illness such as heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and cancer. Number 6. Shop local and buy sustainable. To reduce your food's carbon footprints, buy local and seasonal food. You'll be helping small business and farm in your area and reducing fossil fuels emissions associated with transport and cold chain storage. Sustainable agriculture uses up to 56% less energy and creates 64% fewer emissions and allows for greater level of biodiversity than conventional farming. Go one step further and grow your own fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Go plant them in the garden, on a balcony, or even in a windowsill. Set up a community garden in your neighborhood to get involved.
Don't waste food. 1/3 of all food produced is either lost or waste. According to UNEP Food Waste Index Report 2021, people globally waste 1 billion tons of food each year, which account for 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Avoid waste by only buying what you need. Take advantage of every edible part of the food you purchase. Measure portion sizes of rice and other staples before cooking them. Store food correctly. Be creative with leftovers. Share extras with your friends and neighbors and contribute to the local food sharing scheme. Make compost of inedible remnants and use it to fertilize your garden. Composting is one of the most options for managing organic waste while also reducing environmental impacts. Dress or climate smart. The fashion industry accounts for 8 to 10% of global carbon emissions, more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. And fast fashion has created a throwaway culture that sees clothes quickly end up in landfills. But we can change this. Buy fewer new clothes and wear them longer. Seek out sustainable label and use rental services for special occasions rather than buying new items that will only be worn once. Recycle peel-up clothes and repair when necessary. Plant trees. Every year, approximately 12 million hectares of forests are destroyed in this deforestation, together with agriculture and other land use changes, is responsible for roughly 25% of global greenhouse gas emissions. We can all play a part in reversing this trend by planting trees, either individual or as a part of a collective. For example, the Plant for the Planet initiative allows people to sponsor tree planting around the world. Check out this UNEP guide to see what else you can do as part of the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, a global drive to halt the degradation of land and oceans, protect biodiversity, and rebuild the ecosystem.
Number 10. Focus on planet-friendly investment. Individuals can also spur change through their savings and investment by choosing a financial institution that do not invest in carbon-polluting industries. This sends a clear signal to the market, and already many financial institutions are offering more ethical investment, allowing you to use your money to support the causes that you believe in and to avoid those you don't. You can ask your financial institution about the responsible banking policies and find out how they rank in independent research.
Now that we have given you some tips, I hope that you learn a lot from us and that you will really apply it in real life.
That's all for Cli-Mate Tip. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you, Rona, Aubrey, and Nicolay. Cli-Mates probably learned a lot from today's video, right? I really hope you learned a lot from us. And unfortunately, that marks the end of today's video. But don't be sad because we will be back with the new information about climate change next week. So, this is Ian Salmendez, your Forever Climate. Bye! Thank you so much. See you again next week.